I'm Tachic Hickman-Piazza, founder and principal designer of home and lifestyle brand Allured by Design. And whenever I'm not designing and beautifying spaces, either in my own home or in a client's home, my favorite pastime is to travel. I'm so inspired by all of my travels, and I love to bring all of that inspiration from my travels right back into my home, as I firmly believe a person's home should be a true reflection and extension of their personal taste and style, with beautiful collected pieces that complement who they are, what their passions and interests are, and ultimately, what makes them feel good. Both traveling and designing makes me feel absolutely amazing, but simply being creative makes me feel even more wonderful. In my latest series, The Influence of Travel in Our Homes, I'm excited to show you all some of the stunning pieces I've collected over the years and designed and styled in my home. But more than anything, I'm super excited to share travel memories with you of exactly which country or continent has inspired me to purchase those pieces. If you've never believed in the power of travel and how it truly connects to design and inspires us all, I'm ready to both inspire you and also make you a believer. Is it wallpaper or is it not? It's beautiful, but what is it? Of course, I'm most certainly going to tell you in this very episode. So grab your popcorn and let's get into it. For years and years, I have had so many of you in my audience ask me if the plastered treatment on my wall, if it's wallpaper. And as much as I love wallpaper, and Lord knows I do, I loves me some wallpaper, especially textured wallpaper. But as much as I love wallpaper, this is not wallpaper. This, my Allured Loves, this is a faux plastered wall treatment. Now, what makes it faux is because it's not a real Venetian plaster from Venice, Italy. It's a faux plastered treatment, basically to give the illusion that it looks like real Venetian plaster. So what inspired me to do this, obviously, I took a trip to Rome, Italy during my honeymoon many, many years ago. And I remember seeing just some of the most beautiful Venetian plastered walls over in Rome, Florence, and Venice. And I saw that, and, that was kind of like my first initiation, right? That really made me want to possibly do a wall treatment like that in my own home. But the real story of how this really truly got into my home, I went to North Shore Parade of Homes many years ago, and I typically go every year, but this was, I want to say, my first year that I went after I had moved on the North Shore side of the lake. And I went into this home, and it just had one of the most beautiful faux plaster treatments in one of the showroom homes. And I did some research to find out who was the artist that basically executed the wall. And once I found out who that person was, I reached out and I hired her. Her name is Kelly Hyatt Geronda. So Kelly and I worked together, or rather we collaborated together on what my vision would be for this exact wall. Now, my bedroom, my side walls in my bedroom are chocolate molasses. And my vision for this room was really to tie everything together. So I have these chocolate side walls. I have a lot of antique white furniture, a lot of grayish, if you will, grayish basically being the blending of gray and beige gives you grayish. So I have a lot of antique whites, a lot of gray oak wood tones and just a lot of like caramel oak wood tones as well. Then I mixed in all of those tones with a lot of antique gold, a lot of metallic. So I have pretty much every metallic with the exception to rose gold. I don't really use a lot of rose gold. It's not my favorite metallic to work with, but I have every other metallic in this particular room, from silver leaf, gold, champagne. I have a lot of mercury details. So I wanted the wall to basically kind of combine all of those elements to tie everything together. So what Kelly and I did, what she did with my vision, we pretty much put all of those tones into this wall. So the base of this wall is chocolate to basically complement all of my other walls, because this is the feature wall. So my two side walls and then my front wall, those are all chocolate molasses. So we kept the chocolate molasses as the base of this wall. And then we layered in layer after layer after layer. That's what makes it so different from just wallpaper. Wallpaper is obviously, textured, kind of like high-end contact paper, if you will, that's flat and lays on the wall. A plaster treatment is layer upon layer of pretty much like plastered, plaster texture, treatment that you put on the wall, or plaster texture that you put on the wall to basically get all of these different grooves and nooks and crannies that makes the wall look very, very aged. So we did layer upon layer upon layer of champagne, gold, silver leaf, and we even did oyster. Oyster is what gives this particular wall the sheen. That's what you see in camera right now. You see like that shine on the wall. It's from the oyster color that we use and mixed in with the champagne. So this wall, again, really was inspired from, I remember when I saw Kelly's work in North Shore Parade of Homes, it immediately took me back to my time in Italy, both in all three places that I went to for my honeymoon, Rome, Florence, and Venice. But also, plastered walls is not new to me, okay? So growing up in New Orleans, like, you see plastered walls in a lot of New Orleans homes. You see it in a lot of our historic homes in the French Quarter. You also see it in a lot of our ritzy neighborhoods, like in Uptown or in Old Metairie. You see it in some of our colorful neighborhoods, like downtown in the Marigny. And you also see plastered wall treatments in some of our historic homes in the Treme area. And now, ironically, I actually learned how to do this very, very unique and special technique. I learned how to actually create plaster treated walls while I was a student in film school. So in film school, you have to take production design courses, and production design courses are essentially the interior design courses of film school. It is meant to teach you how to design, build, and decorate sets. And naturally, as someone that has such a passion for decorating and interior design and all things in the home decor and just the beauty of home space, I was very, very, very highly, fascinated and just so interested into all of my production design courses. So I actually learned how to do this actual technique in film school I think it was for my 35 millimeter, not my 16 millimeter, but my 35 millimeter project. I was the art director for that particular project, and I was in charge of basically coming up with the vision for what our sets was going to look like for the project that we were doing. And one of the things that I wanted to do is create this faux plastered wall, because we had just learned how to do the technique, like right before we were getting ready to film our final 35 millimeter project. I had just learned how to do the technique. I was so excited and I wanted to use it so bad in my, finale student project. So I learned how to do this technique. But I will say this, I never even considered doing this like in my own home. I just didn't. And I think it's a lot of labor that goes into creating a faux plaster treatment. This is not that it's easy putting up wallpaper. because wallpaper can be a challenge as well. But trust me, this is much, much more labor intensive. And I never thought of doing it to my home in particular because I hadn't practiced the technique since I graduated film school, and that was back in 2003. So I was a little not so secure in doing it myself since it had been so long since I did it. So when I finally saw Kelly's work, that was the moment that I knew, okay, I found the perfect artist that can do this in my home. So it was both meeting Kelly, seeing her work, that really, really put me back into those memories of being in Italy, seeing all of these beautiful plastered treatments that I saw in so many different places. One place in particular that actually comes to mind, my husband and I, we were having lunch in Piazza Navona, exactly like my last name, Piazza, because in Italian, piazza means public square. So we were having lunch in Piazza Navona, and I remember the particular restaurant we were in. The restaurant was so beautifully designed and well decorated, and it just had the most gorgeous plastered walls all over. And when I saw Kelly's work, that's what it took me back to. It took me back to my time in Rome, in Florence, in Venice, but particularly to the restaurant in Rome. And Piazza Navona is actually one of my favorite piazzas in all of Rome. Most piazzas all over Italy are very artistic, but Piazza Navona in general, it reminded me so much of Jackson Square in New Orleans. So the multi-purpose of this particular wall, right? So I told you guys that this wall was all about adding in all of the colors that would tie this room together. So this particular wall really has three main purposes. The purpose of this wall was to tie everything in together, all the colors, the chocolate, the oyster, the champagne, the gold, all of the neutral aesthetic. So that's the first purpose, to bring everything together. The second purpose was, remember, I said that plaster treatment walls are not new in New Orleans. I grew up seeing this particular treatment in a lot of different homes in New Orleans. So the second purpose of this wall was to always keep me connected to the charm and beauty of New Orleans homes. And then the third purpose of this wall was to always make me and my husband feel like we get a chance to wake up and go to bed every night to a little piece of Rome. So this wall was heavily inspired by not only my travels to Italy, but it was also inspired by the beautifully plastered treated walls that I've seen growing up here in New Orleans. So as always, as I always tell you guys, I think it is so important that we design and decorate our homes in ways that make us feel good. If traveling is what you like and you have just amazing memories from places that you visited, bring that into your home. I promise you, it will be the gift that keeps on giving. And just as I am inspired by so many of my travels, I want you to be inspired too. And also, I want you guys to begin to decorate your homes if you haven't already, because many of you probably have. Not only let travel be your inspiration, let your culture, the history of where you're from, let that shine through also in your home. I think it's very important for that to be a reflection in how you live and who you are. So as always, as I'm inspired by my travels, I want you all to be inspired as well. And I want you to join me in my group trips, in my travels. My next group trip is heading to Greece and Rome, June 2027. We are leaving June 4th and we come back on the 15th. So from June 4th through the 15th, 2027, I'm inviting you all to join me in Greece and Rome. Tickets are now open and available. You can go to the website, alluredbydesign.com. You will see my Greece and Rome flyer. Click on View Pricing and Itinerary, it will take you to my travel site where you can view the fully curated itinerary of everything that we are going to be doing on this trip. We're touring 1 week, several islands in Greece from Athens, Mykonos, and Santorini, and then we're heading to the eternal city of Rome. All you need to do is put down $99 to secure your spot. That's it, just $99, and then you make monthly installments. Or you can do the higher deposit. That's for everyone that do not want to do or have any extra monthly bills. And I get it. Who wants an extra monthly bill, right? So you can also do the higher deposit. That one is going to give you the flexibility to basically make your payments as frequently as you choose, just as long as you pay your balance out by March 6, 2027. So again, go to my website, alluredbydesign.com. It'll lead you directly to my travel site. When you see my Greece and Rome flyer there, click on view pricing and itinerary. Or for all of my Instagram followers, head to my Instagram page. In my bio, click on bio, and you will see a link that says join me in Greece and Rome. Click there and it will bring you directly to my travel site. View the itinerary. Be amazed by it, and make sure you're 18 and older. I want to have you there, and you can go ahead and book your spot online. As always, or until the next episode, or until the next project, whichever comes first, I hope you guys have been both allured and inspired. And as always, stay traveling, stay decorating, stay designing, and stay fully inspired. Smooches.
Just like a filter. Whenever you want me, I'm here for you. I make you brand new. All of them flaws, baby, what's the use? Let's bang you. Just like a filter. Let me take you for a ride. I can fix it up, I can change your life. 100% enhanced, refined, total imperfect design. Let me take you for a ride. Fix it up, I can change your life.